Hello friends, today we are going to discuss a great Indian political philosopher of modern times who is also known as the father of Indian Renaissance, the father of Indian constitutional agitation, the father of Indian liberalism. Raja Ram Mohan Rai is a great social reformer, social scientist, social activist, and a Renaissance philosopher in India who reformed hundreds of people during his lifetime. And there was a very profound influence of Raja Ram Mohan Rai and his Brahma Samaj even today on the Indian society. He worked for the reformation of Hinduism and he eulogized the glorification of the past, the Indian history and culture. And he has opposed the idol worship, and he has opposed the social evils like untouchability, sati, child marriage, forced widowhood, and various other things. So that's why he stands in the first place among the reformers of modern times in India. He is not only a social reformer, he is a great educationist, he is a philosopher, he is an administrator, and he is a social activist. So today we are going to discuss the Renaissance thought of Raja Ram Mohan Rai, particularly his views on colonialism. Raja Ram Mohan Rai is the father of Indian Renaissance. As we all know, the Renaissance means the rebirth of culture, rebirth of spirit of inquiry, rebirth of scientific temper. So in the good olden days, in the ancient period, India experienced the scientific temper and spirit of inquiry as a part of its culture. But during medieval ages, due to the religious influences, irrational social beliefs, and blind faiths, this scientific temper and spirit of inquiry got a second place, and it was virtually forgotten by Indians. But in the modern times, people like Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Dayananda Saraswati, and others, they have again brought back the spirit of inquiry and scientific temper and the richness of Indian culture and heritage to the fore. And they have brought these items before the world. So that's how Raja Ram Mohan Rai is considered as a pioneering philosopher, as a pioneering social reformer, and a social activist of Indian society. Raja Ram Mohan Rai belonged to 19th century, and he was the pioneer of modern Indian political thought. In fact, we cannot exactly say that he is a political thinker. His political theory or his philosophy as such includes political ideas, economic ideas, religious ideas, cultural ideas, and so many other ideas. That's why we cannot segregate him and claim that he is a political scientist or a political philosopher. He's a social scientist, he's a social philosopher, he's an economic philosopher, he's a religious philosopher as such. So that's why Raja Ram Mohan Rai belonged to 19th century, but as far as political science is concerned, due to his unique views on political system and political practices, we can consider him as the pioneer of modern Indian political thought. In fact, the modern Indian political thought has started with Raja Ram Mohan Rai, and he has given his views on colonialism, British administration, the ongoings in his contemporary society like social evils and various other things. So we are particularly concerned about his views on political system, public administration, political ideas and values like liberty, equality, justice, fraternity, and other things. So he's the first philosopher who sowed the seeds for a prospective democratic society in India. He belonged to the 19th century, and that's why he's considered as a pioneer of modern Indian political thought. Raja Ram Mohan Rai was the founder of Brahma Samaj movement in 1828. This Brahma Samaj movement was established mainly to agitate and oppose the evil practices in Hinduism, particularly the sati, child marriages, forced widowhood, untouchability. These are some of the social evils that were plaguing the Indian society of 19th century. And Raja Ram Mohan Rai has started a movement by itself called Brahma Samaj movement, and hundreds of youth, thousands of normal people and commoners are influenced by his ideas. And later, the ideals of Brahma Samaj has become a movement, and it penetrated into almost all parts of India, and it has got a status of a big social movement of 19th century. And subsequently, this movement has become a model for other movements like Arya Samaj movement, Prarthana Samaj movement, Satyashodak Samaj movement, and various other movements. So 19th century is a century of social reform movements. And in course of time, so many Samaj movements were established. Brahma Samaj, Arya Samaj, Satyashodak Samaj, Prarthana Samaj, Divigyan Samaj. So these are the movements that have come up in 19th century. And Raja Ram Mohan Rai was the pioneer of all these social Samaj movements. He started Brahma Samaj movement in 1828 to oppose the evil practices and social evils of Indian society. And 19th century Indian society is filled with social divisions and social evils. We all know the Varna system and caste system has divided people functionally and physically, and it has created a kind of watertight relations between four communities of the Indian society, like Brahmins, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, and Sudras. And even among these castes, there are subcastes and various other castes, other social groupings. And so many social evils are also penetrated into Indian society from the Middle Ages. One of the social evils that was severely fought against is the sati system and forced widowhood. So besides this, there are so many social evils that were there in 19th century. And Raja Ram Mohan Rai was an activist and a reformer who undertook the reformation of Indian society with his progressive outlook. And Raja Ram Mohan Rai, in this context, has also appreciated the British rule in India for its progressive outlook and enactment. In fact, he has demanded the East India Company government to abolish the sati, the child marriages, and he wanted the government to raise the age of marriage, minimum age of marriage, that's called age of consent. And also he wanted the British government to encourage women education, and he has also demanded a ban on forced widowhood on women. So this is how Raja Ram Mohan Rai demanded the British government and got enactments accordingly to all the social evils and their prevention. Sati was abolished, child marriage was abolished, and there was an age of consent bill that was passed by the parliament. And likewise, women education was encouraged. So these positive outlooks and positive enactments have made Raja Ram Mohan Rai to appreciate the British government. So Raja Ram Mohan Rai appreciated the British rule in India for its progressive outlook and its enactments. As we all know, Raja Ram Mohan Rai's philosophy is a conglomeration of political ideas, economic ideas, social ideas, religious ideas, and cultural ideas. So we cannot separate them as such from one idea to another idea, but his views on colonialism, his views on freedom, his views on equality, his views against the social evils These views can be considered as his political views, and we'll discuss these views today. And he was a champion of freedom of press. He demanded freedom of press, and he himself has started certain newspapers in his time. And he stood as a model for freedom of speech and freedom of press. So Raja Ram Mohan Roy's philosophy is a conglomeration of political, economic, social, religious, and cultural ideas. In today's lesson, we have a lesson plan here. First of all, we'll be discussing about Raja Ram Mohan Roy, his life and works. Secondly, the characteristic features of his contemporary times and his method of inquiry. That's called the philosophical method of inquiry. We'll be discussing. After that, Raja Ram Mohan Roy has expressed two different and two contrasting and divergent views on colonialism. While some views are in support of colonialism, other views are against colonialism. So there is a divergence in his views. So for most part, he was considering the British rule as a historic providence, and it was a blessing. And he supported the Britishers for their progressive reform and their role in Indian modernization and their role in launching the Western education system in India. This is how, on certain aspects, he was in support of the British rule. That's why he considered the colonial rule, particularly the British colonial rule in India, as a blessing to the Indian society. So these are all the positive views. On the other hand, he also expressed certain negative views on colonialism. And among his negative views, he opposed the British repression and British religious conversions. So this is how Raja Ram Mohan Roy has expressed a completely divergent views. At times, he expressed positive views, and other times has expressed negative views on British colonial rule in India. So, in today's lesson, we'll be discussing first the divergent views, among them the positive views, that British rule is a historic providence as stated by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. And in support of that, his acceptance to British rule as a historic providence for its progressive reform, that's one thing. And British rule in Indian modernization, that's the second thing. And British rule and its role in launching the Western education system in Indian society. So these are all the positive views. And later, we'll also be discussing British rule and its negative character. In the negative character, we'll be discussing British repression in India. That made Raja Ram Mohan Roy to send letters to the British Council, British Prime Minister and his Council, against the British rule in India. And he was also against religious conversions in India. So these are all the negative views. So on the whole, we can see a kind of a divergence in his views. First, we'll be discussing the positive aspects, and after that, we'll be discussing about the negative remarks or the views of Raja Ram Mohan Roy on colonial rule, the British colonial rule in India. So after that, we'll be discussing Raja Ram Mohan Roy as a father of Indian liberalism, how he supported liberty, equality, and justice in India, and freedom of press, right of women for freedom, and right to constitutional protest. So these are all the liberal views that he has expressed. And not only that, he has encouraged people to make protest as a means to express their articulation. And he has also demanded freedom of press in Indian society. And he even supported the women's freedom. He wanted women to be assertive of their rights for freedom. So these are all the views that made him to be called as the father of Indian liberalism. In fact, when modern Indian political thought has its genesis in Rajaram Mohan Roy's thought. There are no liberal views as such in any other philosophy, but Rajaram Mohan Roy's philosophy is the first and foremost philosophy that has indicated certain liberal views which are required for the Indian society during its political reform and social reform. That's why he is very often referred to as father of Indian liberalism. So as a father of Indian liberalism, his views on freedom of press, his views on women's right to freedom, his views on constitutional protest, so these views are to be discussed. And likewise, he is also called as the father of Indian Renaissance. Renaissance because he wanted to give a kind of rebirth to the Indian culture, a rebirth to the culture which was having the spirit of inquiry and scientific temper in its ancient times. So he wanted to inject the scientific materialist values in the Indian society, rationalism in Indian society, and he wanted to reform the Hinduism with the monotheism and its opposition to idol worship and various other things. That's why he's called as the father of Indian Renaissance. And besides this, he's also a father of social reform movement in India. He started Brahma Samaj movement. So due to all these reasons, he's very aptly and very often referred to as the father of Indian Renaissance. After that, we'll make a critical evaluation of Rajaram Mohan Roy's views. So this is the lesson plan. Now we'll see Rajaram Mohan Roy's life and works. Rajaram Mohan Roy was born on May 22nd, 1772 and died on September 27, 1833. That means he was born in 18th century, the last decades of 18th century, and he died in the first half of 19th century. And this century is very notable for its success in industrial revolution in European countries. Particularly England was considered as the workshop of the world. So 19th century was known for its success in industrial revolution, and this made him to demand for modernization in Indian society by Britishers. Rajaram Mohan Roy demanded modernization of Indian industry and Indian economy, and he wanted the Britishers to modernize the Indian industries with the upcoming technologies of England. So he is a champion of 18th and 19th centuries. So his views on 19th century industrial revolution and his views on Indian modernization of economy are also to be ascertained. And in Bengal, Rajaram Mohan Roy received good education at the childhood, and he was very proficient in many languages like Sanskrit, Bengali, Persian, and English languages. He entered into civil service under East India Company as a Saristadar. In fact, he worked in Indian East India Company of Britishers. In fact, he was considered to be a close friend of the utopian socialist called Robert Owen in England. Robert Owen, Saint-Simon, Charles Fourier. So these are these philosophers are considered as the utopian socialists of 19th century in England society. So Rajaram Mohan Roy was a good friend of Robert Owen, and he was a contemporary of the utilitarian thinker Jeremy Bentham. He was a contemporary of Jeremy Bentham, and he was a close friend of Robert Owen. So he has received his education, primary education in India, but he has done his Bharat law at England. So he entered into Indian civil service under East India Company as a Saristadar. If we look at the contemporary times of the 19th century, as we all know, Indian society is plagued with social divisions like the Chaturvarna system, caste system, subcaste system, there was social orthodoxy in Indian society, wherein there is no community dining or community intercourse between one caste and the other caste, one varna and the other varna. This indicates the functional division of society into four varnas: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, which are again further divided into various castes and subcastes, thousands of castes and subcastes. So, 19th century Indian society is having the orthodoxical upper caste and a depressed lower classes. So, this is how there are glaring social inequalities in Indian society with caste formations, community groupings, varna system, caste system and subcaste system, and orthodoxy among the upper classes. So these are all some of the characteristic features of 19th century. And besides this, adding to this, the Indian society was plagued by certain social evils also. Evils like sati, untouchability, child marriages, forced widowhood, denial of educational rights to depressed classes and women. So these are all the social evils during 19th century. So in such a historical context, Rajaram Mohan Roy took his birth and he championed the cause of depressed classes, mostly women. So social divisions, orthodoxy, social evils, sati, untouchability, these were prevailing in the society. This is something very common in the Indian society of 19th century. And adding to that, the economy of India's society was largely dependent on agriculture and traditional services. In 19th century, almost the whole economy is dependent on agriculture. So, economy is burdened with, agriculture is burdened with so many millions of people dependent on agriculture. In fact, this dependence has so many historical reasons. The collapse of Indian traditional services has led to the migration of all the traditional service workers into agriculture. That also burdened the agriculture. So, economy was based on agriculture and traditional services of village level. These village level traditional services include the barbers' community services, the washmen's community services, the services of goldsmiths, silversmiths, carpenters, plumbers. So this is how there were traditional services based on caste, and the whole society was agricultural dependent. So this is how economy was mostly nature dependent and agriculture dependent, and this agriculture had to cater the needs of the traditional services also under Jajmani system. And in the society, people have the religious superstitions and blind faiths. There was irrationality pervading all parts of the society. Religious superstitions were there, blind faiths were there. There is no scientific temper, and people are blindly following the religions without knowing the text and context of any religion. So this is how religious superstitions and blind faiths forced the humankind, particularly in India, into a kind of dark age. So in continuation of the Middle Age darkness, the initial decades, the initial centuries of modern age also suffered with religious superstitions and blind faiths. And people politically have a culture of silence, and may it be called as obedience, may it be called subordination. We may call it with any name, but there's a lot of culture of silence in politics, and people were tending to be loyal and subordinated themselves to the political system as such. So political culture was characterized by silence. So there is no assertion of rights. So there was no protest. There was no outcry. There was no criticism or a critical evaluation of the political incidents or developments. So that's how the political system was also with a culture of silence. So these are some of the prevailing conditions of 19th century. like social divisions, orthodoxy, social evils, sati, untouchability, economic bias on agriculture and traditional services, religious superstitions, blind faiths, and political culture of silence. So these are the contemporary conditions. And in these conditions, Raja Rammohun Roy is born and he took up the cause of social reform. And in the process of his political and social life, Raja Rammohun Roy also contributed intellectually and intelligently so many books. These books include Petitions Against the Press Regulation to the King in Council, Letter to Lord Amherst on English Education, Tawfat-ul-Muwahhideen. This is written in Persian language and Urdu language. This is in support of monotheism. And Vedanta Sutra, likewise, a tract on religion's toleration. Likewise, Rights of Hindus over Ancestral Property. So these are the books written by Raja Rammohun Roy. So in all the books, he has applied a kind of method of inquiry that is a historical method. Very frequently, he used to get the analogies from the history by making direct narrations from history. He used to substantiate and justify his arguments related to the modern civilizational values. And he was drawing these examples from ancient history and medieval history. So his method in these books is basically a historical method, and this is combined with scientific materialism. And his method is a scientific method and based on materialism. So that's why it is called scientific materialism. And this method is followed by the 17th century social contradiction philosopher Thomas Hobbes. So he followed the historical method of Machiavelli and scientific materialist method of Thomas Hobbes. So these two methods are very widely and very characteristically found in all the books that he has written. And Raja Rammohun Roy has also expressed his views on colonialism. In fact, our lesson today is on his views on colonialism. Raja Rammohun Roy expressed divergent views on colonialism. Some are positive views and some are negative views. First, we'll be discussing the positive views. So his views include both positive views and negative views. That's why we call it as divergent views. At times, he supported the colonial rule for its progressive enactments and everything. And at the same time, parallelly, he was also opposing the British rule for its negative character. We'll be discussing on what grounds he has supported the British rule, and again on what grounds he has opposed the British rule. So on the whole, his views on colonialism can be classified into positive views and negative views. These are divergent views. Now let us discuss the positive views. In support of colonialism, Raja Rammohun Roy considered the British rule in India as a blessing. As we have seen this, the 19th century Indian society was plagued with the social divisions, orthodoxy, social evils like untouchability, sati, and the economy was dependent more on agriculture. So Britishers have brought progressive legislations in Indian society. They have initiated reforms. They have launched Western education system in India. They have even inaugurated some of the irrigation projects in India. So that's why Raja Rammohun Roy termed the British rule in India as a divine blessing. So this is a very positive view that he has expressed on British colonialism in India. And secondly, he supported British colonialism because colonial rule initiated modernization and industrialization. In fact, the colonialism itself has three phases: the mercantile capital phase, the industrial capital phase, and finance capital phase. During the times of Raja Rammohun Roy, colonialism has suddenly changed from the mercantile capital stage to industrial capital stage. So there were many efforts to start industries in India, particularly the textile industries, the jute industries, the sugarcane industries, and various agro-based industries. So for the initiatives of Britishers on industrialization and modernization of Indian administration, Raja Ram Mohan Rai supported the Britishers and he supported the colonial rule. The colonial rule is supported in India because the colonial rule is responsible for departmentalization of administration. They have separated the government activity into various departments on scientific lines: education department, public welfare department, public health department, irrigation department, likewise various other departments, finance department, industries department, agriculture department. So departmentalization of Indian administration is started by Britishers. This is called administrative modernization. So the process of administrative modernization and industrialization was shown by Britishers during 19th century and 18th and 19th centuries. So that's why a philosopher like Raja Ram Mohan Rai unequivocally supported the colonial rule for its progressive reform and also for its efforts on modernization and industrialization. This is the second point. And third one, colonial rule expedited the progressive reforms in Indian society. As we have just seen, Indian society is plagued with social evils like sati, untouchability, forced widowhood, child marriages, and then in some parts of India, like a temple girl system, Jogini system, Vasini system. So these are all the evils that were plaguing the Indian society. So in such a society, the civilizational values are almost dismal. An effort at a very higher level with the intervention of the state is very much a historical necessity to reform the society. And social reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Rai demanded the state intervention on social reform. And he was succeeded in convincing the British that the sati should be abolished, child marriage should be checked, women education should be encouraged, forced widowhood should be banned. So likewise, the progressive reform that was initiated by colonial rule, made with the demands of social reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Rai, or the colonial government on its own, they have expedited the progressive reforms. These reforms have yielded wonderful results and they have set the social order in a very humanistic manner. That's why Raja Ram Mohan Rai supported the British rule for its progressive reforms. And he has also appreciated the colonial rule for the introduction of Western English education system in India. And this Western education system in India facilitated the Indians to study various philosophical ideas of the Western society like liberty, equality, justice, parliamentary democracy, and various other things. And people became assertive of their rights. And the English education system was made accessible to all the sections of the society, particularly the downtrodden, depressed classes, were also made as part of the education system. So that's why the initiatives of the British colonial rule on English education system, for its launching this system, Raja Ram Mohan Rai supported the colonial rule. So Raja Ram Mohan Rai's support for colonialism goes on four important grounds. British rule in India he considered as a blessing for its various initiatives to reform the Indian society. And secondly, colonial rules initiated the modernization and industrialization, particularly administrative modernization and industrialization in the economy. Likewise, thirdly, colonial rule expedited the progressive reform in Indian society, particularly with the abolition of sati, with the abolition of forced widowhood, and with the abolition of dowry system, and with enhancing the age of consent to prevent child marriage in the society and to encourage women education in the society. So this is how the progressive reform expedited by British colonial rule was supported by Rajaram Mohan Roy. So Rajaram Mohan Roy supported colonialism for these initiatives of the British government. And likewise, his colonial rule was appreciated for his English education also. So these are the issues on which he supported the British rule. But not that he has given 100% support to British government. On the one hand, he supported the British government. On the other hand, he also demanded rights, liberty, equality, egalitarian order, justice, freedom, freedom of press, right to freedom to women on British government. So this is how, on the one hand, he supported the British government, and on the other hand, he was also in opposition to British colonial rule for its administrative apathy and various other things. And Rajaram Mohan Roy has opposed the British rule for various other reasons also as well. Firstly, he opposed the British colonial rule because British colonial rule was very repressive and it did not allow the people to assert their rights, assert their fundamental rights, and it did not allow the people to express and articulate their demands in public, and it was using its force against the Indian people. That's why he was against to British colonial rule. And likewise, the British colonial rule was also interfering into the Indian social order by making religious conversions, Hindus into Christianity. That was also opposed by Rajaram Mohan Roy, and for that reason he was opposing the British colonial rule in Indian society. So, not that he has blindly supported the British colonial rule in India, and he has also opposed it on certain important grounds. So, he has also opposed the racial arrogance of Britishers. In fact, he has given many petitions to the King in Council against the arrogance of the British officers. So, he opposed repression, he opposed the racial arrogance, he opposed religious conversions, and he opposed the administrative apathy of the British bureaucracy in addressing the welfare programs, the problems of Indian people's welfare. So for all these reasons, he was also opposed. He was opposing the colonial rule in India. He was against colonialism in India. So these are the divergent views, positive views as well as negative views. And Rajaram Mohan Roy is also called as the father of Indian liberalism, particularly for three important reasons. First of all, he wanted a constitutional agitation. He supported protest. He is the father of Indian constitutional protest. That's why he wanted people to agitate on their rights, on their problems. He wanted people to articulate themselves for the redressal of their problems, for the redressal of their grievances. So he is called as a father of Indian protest, and he wanted constitutional agitation. Of course, people's right to protest should be only within the limits of constitutional methods. It should not be extra-constitutional or it should not be unconstitutional. So within the methods allowed by the constitutional law, people can make their protest. So he supported constitutional agitation. That's one thing. That's why he's called as the father of Indian liberalism. And he was supporting the right of women to freedom. In fact, women population constitute nearly 50% of the total population. And women for centuries together were suppressed without education, without accessibility to the property or economic resources, without even basic minimum freedom. So Raja Ram Mohan Rai demanded that right of women to freedom should be restored and women should be given their dignity and self-respect in the Indian society. And thirdly, he wanted freedom of press. He himself has started some newspapers and periodicals, and he wanted the British government to ensure the people's right to express their views impartially, without any censorship or without any restrictions. So due to these three important aspects, his views on constitutional agitation, his views on right of women to freedom, his views on freedom of press. So these three aspects made Raja Ram Mohan Rai as the father of Indian liberalism. That's why he is very often quoted as the father of Indian liberalism, because he wanted liberty, equality, and justice in the Indian society. He wanted certain constitutional values which the British follow in their own country to also extend in the Indian society. So that's why he wanted constitutional agitation and the government's acceptance for the constitutional agitation by the people. And secondly, the right of women to freedom. Thirdly, the freedom of press. And Raja Ram Mohan Rai is also referred as the father of Indian Renaissance. In the beginning itself, we have quoted it. Renaissance means rebirth, rebirth of culture. So during ancient times, Indian society was having the spirit of inquiry and scientific temper. The people have a culture of inquiry, culture of awareness, culture of consciousness as part of their wider culture. So he wanted the Indian society to glorify its heritage and culture. He wanted a glorification of Indian heritage and culture. So he wanted to bring his past glory to the eyes of the people again. And he wanted to make the people proud of its culture. That's why he in fact translated many of the Vedantas, the Vedas, the Upanishads into colloquial language like Bengali language and various other languages. So he wanted to glorify the Indian heritage. And secondly, he wanted to establish a very scientific culture by adopting social reform in the Indian society. He was in support of social reform. So due to these two reasons, glorification of Indian heritage and social reform, very often Raja Ram Mohan Rai is described as the father of Indian Renaissance. So by making all these views, we can come to the conclusion that Raja Ram Mohan Rai is a great philosopher and he is a great social reformer and a social activist. He has lent support to many constitutional agitations. He was the father of Indian liberalism. He wanted people to assert themselves with their rights, liberty, equality, and justice. He wanted a dignified place for every human being in the society, and every human being's right to have a livelihood with self-respect and dignity should be recognized both within the society and also by the state and government. So he wanted the administration to address the problems of the people, particularly in times of needs. In fact, 19th century is a very dreadful century where the plague disease has come to India and millions of people have succumbed to the disease, just like the coronavirus taking the innocent lives of many people. Likewise, in 19th century, plague, malaria were eating away the lives of the people. During that time, British administration was apathetic and it was indifferent towards the plight of the Indian society. In fact, British rulers have also introduced the permanent settlement system Zamindari system, Malwari system, Raitwari system, and they have appointed the intermediates to collect the taxes from the common people. In turn, these Jamindaris and intermediaries use it to exploit the people and squeeze all the financial resources of the people for the satisfaction of British rulers. So these trends are opposed by people like Raja Ram Mohan Rai. He wanted people to agitate against their problems. He wanted people to be assertive of their rights. He wanted the establishment of just social order without any social classifications or social divisions or social evils. He also wanted a religious culture with monotheism, without any idol worship, and he wanted to reform the Hindu society. And likewise, he wanted to establish a rationalist society in India with human values without having the blind faiths or superstitions or orthodoxy in Indian society. So for all these reasons, he is considered as father of Indian liberalism, and he also was referred as the father of Indian Renaissance. So Raja Ram Mohan Rai is a pioneer of Indian political thought, and he has made a very indelible mark in the political philosophy of the modern Indian society. And his views are reinforced by the later philosophers like Balagangadhar Tilak, Aurobindo Ghosh, Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, and various other philosophers. So, Raja Ram Mohan Rai was a great philosopher who supported on certain counts the British colonialism and has also unequivocally opposed the British colonialism on its negative aspects. And he was also in support of Britishers for their progressive legislation. So he was also critical of British administration on their administrative apathy towards the Indian people when people are plagued with the dreaded diseases like malaria and plague, and millions of people are succumbing to these diseases. And he wanted a stoppage of indentured labor, the migration of indentured laborers to various other countries of the world. He wanted India to be self-sufficient economically, socially, and religiously. Towards that direction and objective, he strove with his Brahma Samaj movement, and with all his writings, he has awakened millions of people, not only in India, but also in many parts of the world. So he's a great philosopher of 19th century, but his philosophy was also criticized by certain people. The main criticism against Raja Ram Mohan Rai was he was more in support of Britishers than reforming the Indian society, particularly the downtrodden classes. So his social reform movement was also directed towards the women of the upper caste than the women of the lower caste. So the evils that he was addressing, like sati, parda system, women education, these problems are considered to be the problems of the upper caste women. So upper classes women. That's why Raja Ram Mohan Rai was very often criticized by certain other subsequent philosophers and intellectuals as a pioneer who supported the cause of upper class women and neglected the plight and problems of the lower class women. Nevertheless, Raja Ram Mohan Rai has a very unique place in the Indian history and also in the history of modern Indian political thought, as he has pioneered the Indian liberal movement. He was the father of Indian liberalism. He is the father of Indian Renaissance. He is the father of Indian constitutional agitation and protest. So for all these reasons, though he supported the British government and its colonialism on certain counts, he was very unequivocally opposed the British attitude towards certain other aspects like racial arrogance, repression, its apathy towards the plight of the people and so on. So all in all, Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a champion of the masses, and with the Brahma Samaj movement, he has given a direction to the social reform movements in India. So his views on colonialism are very divergent, which constitute both positive views and negative views. Thank you very much, friends. Thank you.